Do the same thing. We're still recording. We'll pass the mic over. And no, Hardy's always short for a question.
Hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
You are. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mike. You are leading the new charge for younger artists. How does that sound?
That sounds awesome.
How does that feel?
That feels amazing, really. I'm so blessed to have this opportunity at 17. So it's really amazing.
What opened the door? What's the magic? Because I know you've been doing this for a while, and then out of nowhere, you're the best kept secret in Canada.
I don't know if it was exactly. It definitely wasn't an overnight kind of thing. I got signed last year during the summer, and it's taken up until now. So I don't think it wasn't very quick.
Kira, we'll stay with the age because it is something that makes you a little bit different here today, and you're very young, and I find it interesting because there has to be a little bit of pressure. I would think you suddenly have all these people around you. You suddenly feel like I've got to do certain things. I mean, there's a lot of people now counting on you, and there are a lot of 17-year-olds who don't feel that. Having good family and stuff, is that what helps bear some of that pressure?
I mean, I have the most supportive parents in the whole world, and I wouldn't be close to where I am now if it weren't for them. It's all pretty surreal because you have to think 2 months ago I was sitting in a high school classroom, you know what I mean? And it's kind of weird to go home because people at home don't really know that I do this sort of thing. Like my close friends, I mean my closest friends do, but a lot of people actually, when my music video came out, were like, "Kira, you sing? You're a singer? No way!" So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was listening to you and Mike on the air yesterday morning, and obviously you're very well spoken, and you sing like an angel. And the kidding around that you and Mike did, it kind of reminded me of some of the joking about Taylor Swift does. And tell me about influences.
I mean, Taylor Swift, people say, you must get compared to Taylor Swift a lot, and I absolutely don't think that that's an insult in any way. It's a very, very large compliment, so I love that. She's definitely one of my influences. I absolutely admire her writing ability. I think she's an amazing songwriter. Some others, I've always loved, like I said, I've said in many interviews, my first country album I ever bought was Shania Twain, Up. And I learned it in one day. So she was definitely a huge influence for me. She's probably the one that turned me on to country music the most, and I love her. She's amazing. Faith Hill too. I actually one of her songs, Like We Never Loved At All, is probably my favorite song to sing in the world, and it's inspired me many times to sit down with my pad and my pen and try to write. So those are probably my top 3 ladies.
I know you're at a fledgling point in your career, but if you had to look way down the road, and maybe you've already done that, I don't know, and point to one particular performer and say, that's the image, that's the respect I would love to have someday, what name would come to mind?
Well, I would actually have to say probably Carrie Underwood, I think maybe, because I've seen her many times in concert, and she never ceases to amaze me and blow me away, and she hits every single note that she does on all of her albums, and she's always a class act. She always looks beautiful, and I definitely would aspire to be something like her one day.
Nice.
Kira, I happen to know because I had you on our show yesterday. It was funny because we were live on the air, only Kira didn't know that. That was her first live radio interview.
Very first one.
Yeah, so I was Kira's first.
Thanks for letting me know.
Kira, I know you let the cat out of the bag yesterday. Your first concert was in Hamilton.
Yes, it was actually.
Britney Spears.
It was Britney Spears, yes.
And I'm just curious because you know what, being an artist, there's a couple of different facets, and one of them is certainly performing, and that you can do in the mirror with a tennis racket sometimes, because that's what I used to do when I was a kid.
Hairbrush, actually.
Yeah, with hairbrush. But going into the studio. Talk a little bit about going into the studio and recording, and what that was like, and maybe what surprised you about that process.
I mean, I've been taking singing lessons since I was 6, and my teacher, she has a little tiny kind of recording studio, so I had an idea. But the first time I actually got to go into a real one was with Jason Berry. He's actually here. I saw him in the hotel. That's pretty cool. But he made it really cool for me, and I think that my favorite part probably about recording is hearing it afterward, obviously, hearing, like Marley said, hearing from the demo to the finished product, and it's always definitely night and day, and it's such a change, and I loved hearing myself. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Peter, you want to take another shot?
No, I'm good, I
Okay, we're
think.
good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
We're good.
Thanks,
All right.
Kira.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kira.
Thank you, Kira.